Hi class, welcome to the reinforcement discussion for the manual computations of the Anova. Okay, so as we all know, the Anova is a parametric test or ginagamit siya kapag evenly distributed yung data to know if there is a significant difference of the three or more groups. Okay, in which in this method, tinetest if yung differences of the three or more population means by analyzing the sample variations. So, diretso tayo in a example. So, for example, during an examination, what is the ideal temperature the room should have? Okay, is it cold? Is it normal? Or hot? Is there a significant difference between the three groups? Okay, or between the given groups? So, palagi class, we have to create a hypothesis. Okay. So, in a hypothesis, as we all know, meron tayong alternative hypothesis that claiming na at least one group is different from the other groups. Okay, null hypothesis claiming that all groups are equal or walang significant difference of the three groups. Okay. So, hypothesis, no? Dito class in A, Anova, madalas ang level of significance is 0.05. Okay, 0.05 or 95%. Sorry. Okay, 95% or the level of significant is 0.05. Okay, so class, no? So for example, yung ating cold temperature is 15 degrees Celsius. Yan ang ating unang variable. Okay, yung ating normal temperature or the room temperature, okay, 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, or 25 degrees, yes, tama, degrees Celsius. And then, ang ating pangatlong variable is 35 degrees Celsius o yung hot. Okay, so ito yung cold, ito yung normal temperature or the room temperature, ito yung hot. Okay, so we have here a 5 variables. The ideal temperature daw. Okay, so we have here a 5 given measurements of that temperatures. Okay, so class, no, you have to know the means. Okay, since nga ang Anova is okay, analyzing the population means, no? Or the okay, knowing that differences of the population means by analyzing a sample variations. Okay, so ito, okay, para makuha yung mean, 'di ba? Kailangang total mo muna lahat 'yan and then divide by 5. Okay? So in here, okay, so kung 'yan ang una, so again, no, 4 plus mean, no, kung paano kina-compute yung mean, 4 plus 7 plus 5 plus 3 plus 5. Okay, 24 divided by 5. So we will get a mean of 4.8. Okay, and then ganun lang din sa pangalawang variable and then to the third variable. Okay, kukunin yung mean. Okay, the mean. Okay, so now, class, no, in computing the Anova or the F ratio. Okay, so yung ating variable, yung unang variable, class, no, kailangan i-squared. Okay? Kailangan nating makuha yung sum of squares. Okay, kumbaga the sum of squares. So, 'di ba, pag 4 times 4 is equals to 16, 7 times 7 equals to 49, 5 times 5 is equals to 25. No, i-square lang 'yan. Okay, ganun din sa pangalawang variable. Okay, para makuha natin yung x squared or sum of squares na kailangan natin for computing a Anova. Okay, yan. Sum of squares. Sum of squares. Okay. And then, ganun din sa pangatlong temperature or pangatlong variable. Okay. So, the K in here is the number of treatment conditions. So, tatlo. The cold, the room temperature, and the hot temperature. Kaya tatlo. Okay? Yung N, the number of scores in each treatment. Okay? So, ito yan. The number of scores in each treatment. So, meron tayong 5. Okay? The number of scores in each treatment. So, we have 5. And the total of each treatment condition is 15. Kasi, di ba? 5 dito, 5 dito, 5 dito. So, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, 15. Okay? The G is the sum, okay, sum of all scores in the study. Okay, the sum of all scores in the study. So we have 68. Okay, yung ito, the summation of the x squared class, no? The summation of x squared, use ito. Okay, the summation of the x squared. Okay, so again, class, okay, kailangan yung given na measurements, makuha yung sum of squares of that. Okay, kasi yan ang kailangan natin in computing the manual computations of the Anova. Okay, so 16 plus 49 plus 25 plus 9 plus 25 is equals to 124. And then on the normal temperature is 64 plus 36 plus 49 plus 36 plus 25, we will get a 210. Okay, and then ganun din sa hot temperature. So 124 plus 210, okay, plus 34, we will get a 368. Okay, 368. The summation of the all x squared. Okay, the summation of sum of the squares. Okay, 368. Okay, so okay, para makuha yung sum of squares. Okay, para makuha yung sum of squares class ng each treatment condition or each temperature, we have here the formula. Okay, the formula that the summation of the x squared minus to the sum of the x squared divided by n, or the total number of scores. So on the first conditions class, or the first temperature dun sa ating cold temperature, okay, or yung ating x1, okay, or the 15. Okay, so 124 minus yung ating sum of the scores doon, which is yung 24. Okay, yung total nito. Okay, 24 is squared mo and then divided by 5. 5 kasi yan. So, we will get a 8.8. Okay, so di ba 24 times 24, we will get a 576 divided by 5. 1.52, ima-minus mo sa 124, so we will get a 8.8. Okay, and then, on the normal temperature or sa 25 degrees na temperature. Okay, so 210 minus yung 32, nakuha yan doon sa total nung scores on the treatment. Okay, squared mo and then divided by 5. We will get a sum of scores of 5.2. Okay, 5.2. And then, ganun din on the third conditions, temperature. Okay, the hot or yung 35 degrees Celsius. Okay, so yung 34, nakuha yan class doon sa sum nung squares. Okay, sum of the squares of the scores in the hot variable or in a hot conditions minus the 12. Okay, 12 yung total nung scores on the hot temperature. Okay, and squared mo yan divided by 5. We will get a 5.2. Okay, tandaan class, ito ay yung sum of squares pa lang ang nako-compute. Okay, the sum of squares. Okay. Now, punta tayo, okay, para computein natin yung sa F value or the F ratio. Okay, so the sum of total, okay, the sum square, total of the sum squares class is nako-compute yan by the summation of the x squared, sum of the x squared minus yung total of the scores, okay, the sum of all the scores in the study squared divided by n, or yung total number, or the total number, yes, the n, the big letter N, total number of scores. Okay, so 368, tandaan, nakuha yung sum of the x squared kasi pinag-add yung tatlo. Okay, yung tatlong x squared. Okay, and then minus yung 68, the sum of the all scores. And then 68, kailangan mong i-square. So 68 times 68 is equals to 4,624 divided by 15. Okay, so we will get a 308.27. Okay, ima-minus mo yon sa 368. So we will get a answer of 59. Okay, 0.73. Ayan, 59.73. Okay, so nakuha na natin yung total of the sum of scores. Now, we will go to compute the sum of scores ng between the treatment and within the treatment, or within the groups and between the groups. Okay, para ma-compute class, no, yung sum of scores within, okay, within the treatment. Okay, so this, the sum of the total sum of squares, okay, or the, sorry, the summation of the sum of squares. Okay, yung ito. Ayan, yung mga kinompute natin. Okay, so para makuha yung within the treatment is the summation of the sum of squares inside each treatment. Okay, so 8 plus 8 plus 8.8 plus 5.2 plus 5.2 is 19.2. So yung ating sum of squares within the treatment is 9.2. Okay, 9.2. Tandaan yung sum of the within sum of squares of within the treatment, nakuha yan dito. Okay, so kinompute na to. Okay, pag-add mo lang yan para makuha mo yung sum of all the sum of squares. Okay, o yung total of the sum of squares. Okay, so ilalagay mo yan dito. And then, para doon sa between the treatment class, no, is ima-minus mo lang yung total minus the sum of squares within. Okay, so ayan. So, 59.73 minus 19.2 equals to 40.53. So, yan yung dito, between the treatment. Okay, now, para ma-compute natin yung degree of freedom. Okay, so sa degree of freedom class, okay, para makuha mo yung between the treatment, usually ito yung sa column. Okay, yung sa column yan. Between the treatment, okay, yan yung kung ilang column, ilan ba yung binigay, di ba? 3 treatment yon. Okay, so 3 minus 1, kaya 2. Okay, tapos yung within the treatment class is yung total. Okay, yung total ng treatment or total of the wait lang. Ito, yung total nung total nung tatlong variable. Okay. Okay, so n, okay, n minus k. Okay, which is the total na 15 minus 3. Okay, 3. Minus 3 kasi yung group pa. Okay, yung variable ay 3. Okay, so 15 yung total scores. Okay, minus 3 equals to 12. Kaya 12. Okay, tas ipag-add mo yan. Kaya nakuha ay 14. Okay, yan ay computations for the degree of freedom. Okay, degree of freedom na kailangan yan ay alam class, tama kasi yan ang titingnan mo doon sa F table. Okay, yung ito naman class, okay, is the mean squares. Mean squares. Ito, tandaan, degree of freedom. Okay, para sa mean squares, Okay, mean squares between the group is computed by the sum of squares of between the groups divided by the degree of freedom of between the groups. Okay, so ito 'yun. Okay, ito yung sum of squares ng between treatment or between the group. Okay, divided by 2 kasi yung degree of freedom din niya. Okay, so we will get a 20.265. Okay, tapos within mean square within the group, is the sum squares of within the group divided by the degree of freedom within the treatment or within the group. Okay, equals to 1.6. Okay, and then para makuha natin yung F value, makompute natin yung F value class. Okay, is ipag-divide mo lang to. Okay, pag-divide mo lang sila. 20.265 divided by 1.6 is equals to 12.67. Okay, 12.67. Okay, yan yung ating computed F value. Okay. So now, class, no, alamin naman natin. Okay, yung critical value from the table. Okay, so ang computed F value natin is 12.67. So para magamit class, no, or malaman natin yung critical value in the table is you have to take note yung sa taas, okay, yung ating unang degree of freedom. Okay, the degree of freedom nung una. Okay, between the groups. Tapos sa baba or yung nasa rows class, okay, is yung degree of freedom nung pangalawa, yung within the treatment. Okay, so kung saan sila mag-meet, yun yung ating critical value. So dito, ayan, 3.88. Okay, so compare the F computed value from the critical value. Critical value ay galing yan sa table na ipo-provide. Okay, sa table F. Okay, so 12.67 is the computed F value, pero tapos sa ating critical value ay 3.8. So, class, if the value of F, okay, is greater than the value of the table F, so you have to reject the null hypothesis. Okay? Kasi 'di ba? Plus no, kung in a Gaussian curve, for example, no, straight lang natin. In a Gaussian curve. Okay? So, 'di ba? Kung ang ating F value ay 3.88, okay? Wait lang. Mali yung ano ko. Ulitin natin yung drawing ko. Okay? So, for example, no, Gaussian curve natin. Sorry. Okay, so for example, no, nandito yung ating F value na 3.88. Okay, tapos ang ating computed F value ay malayo. Okay, let's say, dito. Okay. Yeah. Okay, 12.67. Okay, kasi class, kapag pasok dito yung computed F value, ito yung area of acceptance. Okay? Kapag lagpas na class, no, dito sa ating critical value, yan yung area of rejection. Okay? Area of rejection. So lagpas yung computed F value sa ating critical value. So we have to reject the null hypothesis. So we can conclude na merong significant difference between the exam scores of the three groups. Okay, merong significant difference of the exam scores between the three groups. Okay, so gayon yung for the manual computations ng Anova. Okay, in your exam class, no, isa lang naman yung questions regarding with the Anova. Okay. So that would be all regarding with the manual computations of the ANOVA.